Welcome to the spot. It's time to ignite. Oh yeah. Operation Hangout. The feeling's just right. Chilling with the crew. We're ready to groove. Opinions flying high. Come on, let's move. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Pull up a chair, let's get in the zone. Voices blending smooth like a funky trombone. Oh yeah. Topics from the heart, making us think. With a twist and a shout, raise up your drink. Cheers. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Bring it down, shake it up, feel the beat. With every word we share, the circle's complete. Living loud, thinking proud, that's what we do. Oh yeah. Join the club, come on through, we're waiting for you. Alright. Hang out all night long, all night. Laughing and debating, playing our song. Oh yeah. Share your thoughts, don't be shy, don't be shy. Operation Hangout, let's reach for the sky. Let's fly. Hang out.
Let's try this again. What is going on, everybody? We're back at it with another show, another live. This is the Spartan HQ Network. You are at the show of shows. Of course, we're talking about wrestling talk with the Spartan. Wow, I cannot talk today. It's been a long day. So how is everybody doing tonight? Of course, we got my boy Wally in the house. Wally, how are you doing tonight, my man?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Other than other reasons, but I'm doing all right.
Yeah, that's good, man. Oh man, it's been a long day, a long week. Let's have some fun tonight. Let's talk about this shit. So there's a lot that's happened in the last week with wrestling. I mean, so like, you want to start out?
Oh yeah, I mean, how I want to do this. So let's start off, and then we'll work our way to the big topic later down the line, right? So let's talk about the Royal Rumble, right? Now, of course, it's been a little bit, some weeks passing, but I thought this would be a good thing to talk about just as far as a little bit overall. So as we already know, for everyone that's been watching the product of WWE and seeing what we have to see. So originally, because now it's been out there a little bit more, and I think this is very clear now that the winner was supposed to be Bron Breakker, right? But of course, that didn't happen because of the injury, which allowed Roman to be the new winner of the Royal Rumble. And this is why we're having CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, because it's just the obvious thing that they can pivot to with some traction, which is okay. You know, have a nice day with that one, right? But honestly, this is my main opinion, right? Let's say hypothetically, because this is one thing I do want to talk about. What if Braun didn't get injured? He didn't have no injuries, and he won. Would you even feel good about him winning the Royal Rumble with the storytelling that they have set up around that time frame, from him actually losing on Raw's debut or whatever debut they had at that time I think it was the debut of Raw of the new year that they had that match. They had a title match, if I'm not mistaken, between him and CM Punk. If they did, or a week after, however it is, they had a match, right? He ends up losing, which honestly, again, is slightly the most unbelievable way possible. But he ends up losing, right? And you're gonna go on the road to WrestleMania. Then you get on this huge tyrant, get suspended, get reinstated, only to now be in the Royal Rumble. And if things went right, you would have been the winner. Then you go face CM Punk, and supposedly at that point, based upon storytelling, if they keep it right, you're supposed to win the title at WrestleMania. So I'm gonna ask this question again: Do you feel right? Do you feel good in Bron Breakker winning in that style up until that point? If it all came clean,
Honestly, no.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be a crappy storyline. And on top of that, was Roman Reigns the only good candidate at the time?
Well, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, my thing is that I just didn't love how they did it. It was just sort of really, again, it was really wonky. Just looking at the match, like I said, you pretty much Braun pretty much had the match clean as day. You had CM Punk banged up to the whole point, looking very droggy. You're gonna bounce off these ropes, gonna go for a spear. He goes for a nice simple knee, but the way he's looking, where his body is so dead and so dense, he just easily knee you, picks you up for a GTF, and yeah, we're gonna call it a day with you losing. Make that make sense. I mean, I'm pretty much I might be screaming that a little bit, but yeah, it's just horrible. Like that, it's just not enough. It's not enough. It's just not enough, especially at that
No.
volume. No. And then two is like, oh, we're gonna suspend you, keep you on the sidelines because of your outrage, but then bring you back and then reinstate you in the Royal Rumble just because a certain someone touched you before anything else. So you're rewarded for your bad deeds and someone touching you first before anything else. I'm like, okay, yeah, no. What the fuck are we doing here? It's a little bit. That's a little bit like it's not a great selling point for you to get in there. Like, get a match, win a match, do something big, major. You know, make a standing ovation. But no, it was just bad. It was just bad taste. It was just very bad taste.
I think it was bad writing in general. That shouldn't have been like that. I think they should have picked somebody else. They have so many other candidates, but they keep going to Roman Reigns. And no against Roman Reigns. I think he has done.
Well, no, Roman. I mean, like I said, Roman will be a different conversation because honestly,
No, I know. But what I was going to say is, you have such a big roster, and you have so many people who are actually pushing for want to get the title. They need a chance to. They keep pushing the same ones over and over and over and over.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I'm gonna get at the idea of that Roman part a little bit later because I'm only just focusing on Braun so far and how they lead up to the story. Because honestly, again, do I think Braun deserves to be world champion? Of course I do. The thing is, how they're doing it with him though, it's just not it's not favorable.
That I do understand.
Yeah, and that's my thing. Is like, yeah, I want Braun to be the winner. Yeah, I want Braun to win the Royal Rumble. Yeah, I like that. But it's like, okay, you're doing it at a pace where you're doing one thing and then a whole nother. And it's like, oh, as it leads on, then it's like everything else. It's like, okay, I mean, if you won the Royal Rumble, what's going to be then? What's going to be the story? You just break everybody up until this point. You know, CM Punk goes face Finn Balor, Elimination Chamber. You know, Finn Balor puts him at his breaking point, and then you just take an easy lick out of CM Punk, I guess. I mean, granted, that is not gonna be a bad thing for me, right? It's like if that's the case, it's just more so of leading up to like, how does the whole work up, the build up look like? And the build up doesn't look saucy enough for me. Like, if you're trying to sell me on the whole build up of Bron Breakker becoming world champion, this ain't it. I mean, you may as well just run me back Gunther with the IC title at this point. Because that's probably the best thing you had. It's like you're not really giving your new guys a good, decent look. I mean, yeah, you're doing, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but it's just not enough overall as far as just good storytelling and setting up your guy to really stand out as something spectacular, especially in the new age.
That is the problem I have right now. They're keep repeating the same people over and over and over. It's getting stale, in my opinion, right now. They need to mix it up somehow, some way. And we talked about it last week. What happens to the it factor? Back in the Attitude Era, in the Gruesome Era, there's always the it factor. I don't see an it factor, like something to maybe tune in, like what is going to happen next. I'm excited to see what happens next. I don't see that anymore. We're using Roman again. Listen, Roman is a great wrestler. Not taking it down. Done a great job. He was the longest reigning wrestler. I can't knock him for that. But it's getting boring at this point. How about you put Randy Orton instead in the title, or winning the Roman Raw? I didn't want Cody to win either again, because they've done that for the last 2 WrestleManias in a row. So
right, and him
really running out ideas at this point.
Time is horrible.
Yeah, even Uncle Harry, I'll be like, okay, something different. I'm not saying he's a better wrestler, but somebody else in the title range. Like, they have so many different other wrestlers that I'm looking at the roster now. There's an issue they always have, is overcrowded their roster, and they don't know what to do. Even Sheamus. I haven't seen Sheamus doing anything anytime soon.
Oh no, he's in mid-card territory at this point.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, they have tried him and he always fails. And I think he won a Roman, the same concept. What happened? He would lose another title run. Would I like to see him as having a main title? Yeah, I think he would have done a decent job. I don't think it would be good. I think it'll be a very short-lived thing. But again, it goes back to even Rusev. They haven't done nothing to him when he came back. He's in the mid-card also. They're literally dropping the ball with him too.
Yeah, because him getting into the Royal Rumble, then dropping out a couple of minutes in, or a couple of seconds to a minute in, it was just horrible.
Yeah. And I know he's the NXT champion. Joe Hendrick, I think he would be a good run for him. A very good run. Joe Hendricks.
Oh, John Henry.
Some people hate him. Some people like it. Listen, you got to give him credit. His theme song gets stuck in your fucking head.
Not really.
Every time I listen to that shit, I always get stuck in my head. I'm like, fucking ain't not again.
My thing is with Joe Hendry is honestly, he's just nothing but a carbon copy. He's a carbon copy. How so? Okay, let me break this off real quick. Okay, again, what are the few things you hear about Joe Hendry, like in symmetry? First, you come in with the Qatar. Who came in Qatar first? You play that part. Then you want to talk about the Bolieve aspect. Oh, aka Bolieve. I'm sorry. You just biting off too much different things from two people, and you just make it in, and you just pile it into your own.
Oh yeah, I'll give you respect for that. Absolutely. He took a couple of characters that already been in the wrestling scene, and he combined them. And I don't think he's going to be one of the best wrestlers. No, I don't think so. But I do think they're going to run with him because he's popular now. That's all it is.
I mean, popularity was the only thing. I mean, at this point, they was just made freaking what's his name, Dominic Mysterio world champion.
Here's another one, Damian Priest. I haven't seen him do anything lately either.
Mid cards,
and he was a good upper card level at one point.
Yeah, when they had him at the time, yeah, when he was champion, yeah, he was pretty good for a little bit. But
I didn't want to see Brock Lesnar win again because I'm getting tired of seeing his ass.
Well, yeah, I mean, no, I mean, look, the people are there. That just filling, right? That just filling. I don't think so. Brock was more so there for the scene of other stories. But look, other than that, right? main point of why I'm bringing this up about Braun. The thing is, it's not. I don't think so. That they're not pushing Braun. It's just like this goes into the simple standard of a. It's like a mixed bag of bad timing with injury, storytelling, and then it's like now we don't have, and then now we're trying to get to this point, and we don't have enough people to really rock with to boom up what we're selling. So we have to pivot back to one of our big sellers, which diminish everybody else. So that's just the thing right there. Because again, granted, do I want Roman Reigns to win Royal Rumble this year? No, but at this point, let's look at all the damaged goods that pretty much everything that happened. Braun getting injured, down. You know, wherever else, it's like Seth Rollins is not back yet. You're not going to connect him with CM Punk at this point in time. Just look at what's left. So it's like, well, who's left open? You know,
Eric, goddamn Eric. Look what he's fucking saying. You read his comment?
Sammy should drive the WWE trucks from city to city and sell popcorn to the fans at ringside, or maybe a gig at a hot dog vendor in the lobby. And you know what? The funny thing about it is, Eric, he probably wouldn't sell that much. At least, I mean, if you think about it, think of it like this. Who would you rather want in the back selling for you? R-Truth or Sami Zayn?
Sammy is also like R-Truth. He's a comedian role. That's all he is.
I mean, he's all he is because that's all they sell him to be. But
yeah, when he was at NXT, I thought he had a pretty decent run on that.
Oh, for Sammy, well, yeah, short-lived run.
You know what? I think it's kind of funny. And I sort of mentioned this. A lot of wrestlers, before they move up to the main roster, they have a great run in NXT. Ciampa is another good example.
Not all of them, per se.
Not all of them. I didn't say all of them. Some of them.
Yeah.
Like Ciampa is another good example. He had a great run in NXT, if you remember.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, I mean, I always say this, right? I don't try to misconfuse too much of what happens in NXT versus what happens on the main rosters. And the reason why, just because you have NXT on television and everything else, understand it's still a development contract. It's not like it's like the contract.
Yeah, of course.
So knowing that, they're gonna sell you high, they're gonna make you look good, because if it doesn't work with us, it's gonna work with somebody else. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the bottom line of it. But yeah, that's just something I just want to just glance on as far as just the visual opinion on how Breakker looks with all the situation. Because honestly, he just got a bad break with this injury and then had to be set up to take a pitfall because he's not going to win, or at least he couldn't win because of the injury, because that would just be pointless. But moving on to some other stuff right now, because that's sort of sucked in all totality. Because of course, right now, with the pivot of Braun, they're gonna pretty much say it's gonna be him versus Seth Rollins, when eventually they allow Seth Rollins to come out and be the quote unquote known attacker that's been under the face mask and everything. But with that said, let's do pivot a little bit on the who else, if we were able to switch up the winners, who else could be an option, right? So I'm going to name you all the entrances, all the contestants that are in, and you tell me your top 3 that you think that could have won other than Roman's and at least replace Bron Breakker as winner and that deserve this shot. So right now, entrance 1, of course, was Obafemi. 2 was Bron Breakker, but we're not adding him. Solo Sikoa was number 3. Entrance number 4 was Rey Mysterio. Number 5 was Rusev. Number 6 was Matt Cardone. Number 7, Damian Priest. Number 8 was Javon Evans. Number 9, Mr. Iguana. Number 10, Trick Williams. Number 11, Cody Rhodes. Number 12, El Gran Americano. Number 13, Original El Gran Americano. Hold on. Number 14, Powerhouse Hobbs, a.k.a. Royce Keys. Number 15, Austin Theory. 16, Brunson Reed. 17, Ilya Dragunov. 18, La Parka. 19, Dragon Lee. 20, Logan Paul. 21, LA Knight. 22, Brock Lesnar. 23, The Miz. 24, Ray Phoenix. 25, Jay Uso. 26, Roman Reigns. 27, Jacob Fatu. 28, Penta. 29, Randy Orton. And number 30, Gunther.
See, I would probably pick out LA Knight as my number one because I think he deserves a really good run.
All right.
Penta definitely. I think he has some great fucking work. That guy. I think he deserves a good shot. And if I had to pick a last chance, and I don't have any other options, Randy Orton, because I think he does some great work. Even at his age, with all his injuries and the time he put in.
All right. So understanding that we understand that the story is being pointed and angled towards whoever wins really is just going after the world title at this point, the world heavyweight title, because that's pretty much what they're angling. Because like we don't got no one for CM Punk. Is that who you would? I mean, granted, I think they could change the story any which way, but actually, yeah, you know what? No, I'm not gonna ask that because they could change the story either which way. Elimination Chamber could be anything. So, all right, no problem. Okay, you said LA Knight one. You said number 2 is who? You said
Penta.
Penta, and then you said number 3 was who? You said
Randy Orton. Yeah.
All right. So for me, so at number 3, I would went with Jacob Fatu, but because of that story, honestly, they could just scrap the story. I could care less. But I still say Jacob Fatu at number 3 is my third pick. At number 2, who else would I have chose from this list? Yeah, so that's the hard part about it because a lot of these guys that were in there, they were this filler. They weren't even in there to really do anything. Oh man. I mean, definitely LA Knight I would definitely choose. But he would be like my number 1 pick, honestly. So for my third person. Yeah, honestly, yeah.
It's hard.
No. I'll actually go with this. This would be my wild card pick. So so let me rearrange it. So I'll say this. For number 3 would be my wild card, and my wild card would be Obafemi.
Really?
Number 2 would be going for Jacob Fatu, and then number 1 would be LA Knight.
Why that lineup?
So let's start with number 3. The reason why I say wild card again, coin of the name, wild card. Why not? This is your draft. This is the person that literally defend the title, put down the title, relinquish it to trying to get a main contract, right? Based upon how we're going into storytelling. He put down the title, ended it. It was literally there trying to get a main contract. You come into the Royal Rumble. You start at number 1. You're dominating enough of the competition. If things went a different path, you definitely could have been over the top. And right now, you're one of the many stars that are out here that are a big name and a big face with some decent credentials on wrestling and being a star at the same time. I could see Obafemi, being able to win that as far as a wild card option. Because again, a lot of people are trying to be wowed, trying to be like, oh, we didn't see this coming. I didn't expect this one. No, because let's be honest, no one didn't expect no one to come from NXT and then magically win the Royal Rumble. But think about it. Like, we haven't really gotten that yet. Right? We seen people came up from NXT, won a mid-card title, and then eventually win world title, right? But to do something major as winning the Royal Rumble or getting into WWE and then eventually winning the Money in the Bank briefcase 1 year in, something like that, that is heavy. So, like I said, that would be the wild card for me. Now, if we're just talking about making sense based on story, then yeah, I'll go with Jacob. I think Jacob would be the next big one right there. And I think it'll be clear that he goes after, Drew McIntyre. Why? Because at this point, again, it at least levels the playing field because one, with that story that's going on, bless you, with that story going on, it already sets up whoever keeps on winning. So if they were to do Drew versus Cody consistently up until that point where they got to face Jacob Fatu, it doesn't matter to him. Because the way they're telling the story, it's like Cody may have did it, Drew may have did it. We don't know yet. They're not going to disclose that yet within storytelling who did what. All we do know is someone did it, and he's looking just to smash anyone in sight. So he winning the room just guarantees him whoever does get the title at that point or has it at that point, he's taking out either one. So it works perfectly in his favor. Now, as far as the number one option, LA Knight, and I think that's just pretty obvious. I think, honestly, again, they had two pretty much contestants early on who they could have gave the title to. You could have did LA Knight. They could have did Jey Uso at this point. I'm talking about way back. We did the Jey Uso experiment. We saw how that went. It's time to go with LA Knight. I think LA Knight should have been the original choice at hand back then, and it should have been working into this day. That's what I think, honestly. And I think, honestly, they could have definitely made that switch for the Rumble ultimately and gave him that shot. So that's what I'm going with right there. But,
so I do see, Oba in that night, right? Correctly.
Oh, for me?
I can see him doing a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Jay, I think his first run was not planned out correctly for a lot of reasons. Creative didn't do it right. If they did it correctly, I think he would get a good run. I definitely think they need to change his entrance. That he gets winging way too fucking fast with that entrance of his.
I mean, to me, it's not even just much. I mean, story is always a thing, but honestly, I think if he was going to take it there, if he's going to really take it there, a lot of things he would have to incorporate to really take it there.
Yeah, I think that needs to change.
He didn't really incorporate a lot to really take it there. I mean, making a nice little, ambiance to the spear, how you do it is nice and all, but you're just carbon copy. People are tired. How much people right now in WWE is closely using or trying to finish somebody with a spear? Like, it's getting too much.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like he's ultimately finishing the match with a spear, but when that's like the lineup of finishing a move, like, okay, this is getting old. It's getting old.
I agree with that. I think they need to give him a different finisher because his cousin does the spear. One of his finishers are spears or super punch.
Well, his spear is not a finisher, but it's a lead up to the finisher. I'm just saying, like, out of all the things that you incorporated and everything else, is like, don't get me wrong, right? It's like you added some new stuff that's great, but it seems like from what you're able to do, or what you're known to do, is like you're not really adding to those elements of what you can do. Like, for instance, at a stake up high flyer, it just seems like, I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I'm not saying like, everyone hits their plateau with what they can do, because everyone can't really almost do anything, right? But you'll just hope like there'll just be more extra to it, at least a little bit more, because it seems like you see the same tidbit lineup and everything, and it's like, it sort of hit a stale mark. So it's like people are looking at it now at the big level, and it's like, is it? And granted,
you think they're running ideas for finishers?
Who?
You think they're running out ideas how to do finishers?
Wait, say that. Catch me one more time.
Do you think they're running out ideas to do finishers? Meaning,
no.
You see what I'm saying now?
Yeah. No. I heard you. I just didn't hear the words right. But no, it's not just that. I just think like overall performance is just something like that. And again, maybe I'm a little bit adding on to it just a tad bit. by saying that, because again, it's like everyone does their same, you know, that quote unquote close to the closer of the finisher. Like they do the whole, you know, the thing, and even games show like, yeah, this is their whole lineup before coming close into the finisher. So you know all that stuff, but it just seems like there. I don't know what it's just that oomph. It's just that oomph. It's like, let's say the match goes crazy, you know, one thing and another, and it's like Shawn Michaels just kicking up and then lifting up his body up to the, like, you know what I'm saying, rising back up to his feet, like something like that, like, you know, something extra, something like that. Like it doesn't seem so. It's just like the thing is, there's just certain people say like, you know what, this belongs here, but it's like others just don't. And you know, when you put certain people up there, you would hope they look a little something where it's sellable, or at least just storytelling alone. I think, you know, let me say it like this: it wasn't Moose's. I'm not even gonna blame it on the moves or just his like new repertoire of moves. I think more so is his story. I'm just saying that because honestly, I'll just pigeonhole myself into that because honestly, I could literally rant on anybody else for doing the same thing, give or take. So I'm not gonna do that. So I'll just say it's just more the story because it just seems like as the level of contention or just the upperness of it all, because we went from you saying day one all on your own, and then now it started to weep down and saying I can't do it on my own, and it's like you just keep getting weaker and weaker, and it's like, okay, you know what? Yeah, it's like
No. I understand what you're saying. Is like it's except you know showing him as a strong competitor, you're showing him as a weak competitor instead.
well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It sort of gets like a little off centric. I mean, I could even say just to add this, as an equal component, like even adding like a submission move would be a surprise. Like, you know, and that's something like you don't really see too much. It's like, okay, you guys are going straight hands, punching it, high flying, but add a little something splash to it, like bringing a submission move that no one didn't expect you to do.
Mm-hmm.
Just throw that in there. You know what I'm saying? Like that would just be an extra surprise because no one didn't see that coming. That'll add more extra splash to it. You know, some stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Just spice it up a little bit. And I think, you know, because if I end up seeing like, oh wait, you know, Jey Uso hit a submission, I'm like, what, huh? Wait, what? I'm like, what he hit? I'm like, he hit that. Oh wait, he hit that. I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. I did not see that coming because even hearing him the first time, like when they said like, oh, he beat Gunther by submission, I was like, okay, I did not see that coming as a finisher, but okay, interesting. It's like you did that once and that's it, and like you're not gonna keep that going. I'm like, what's the point of doing it then?
I wonder who pulled the plug on that one. That's my curiosity right now.
Yeah, I mean, it really doesn't matter to me honestly, but it's like it is interesting to see, like, you know, again, that's what I'm saying, like wow factors like that. If you don't expect it, you don't expect, like for instance, like I remember when Batista came back, right? You would think it'd just be the same stuff, right? Hands, grapple, big power moves, done deal. He ended up coming in with a submission move, and I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. You know what I'm saying? Like just keeping it sprucey, like just, you know, blend it up a little bit. Just get saucy, get some new training, get some new skill sets. You know what I'm saying? Like people opening up the door for that and making big different things, it adds more elements to stuff. Like Undertaker came in here with some mixed martial arts and did the Oplata, or what he called the Dark Gate. Like I didn't see that coming. When you had that was game over. I'm like, that changed everything.
Oh, absolutely. Undertaker always keep changing himself up. He keep trying to reinvent himself over the years. You gotta give him credit. He
Right,
was
but
he was
that's
in
what
the main.
keeps up the nostalgia. That's what keeps
Yeah,
up
he
the
kept
nostalgia.
himself
That's what I'm
in
saying.
the main role for since day one almost. He
Right,
never fell out.
right. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just will be more insight. But look, nonetheless, like I said, these are just some people. I just, like I said, between you and me, this is pretty much how I'm just looking at like the Royal Rumble of other people that could have won that they honestly could have just put in there and just said, hey, you know what, we're giving you the title run. But now that we, you know, we ranked up to there, right? Let's hit on this whole Roman thing. Let me share the screen here because this was a doohickey as I'm now hearing it. Because I was hearing a little bit of it, and I was like, oh, now this is interesting. Because this actually sparks a whole different conversation that I started hearing. So let's hear what we have to. Let's hear from Pat McAfee and Roman Reigns.
And we're obviously very grateful for our tribal chief making time for us.
Hell yeah.
Every time you're on our show, you're electrifying, you're awesome. And there's a reason why, there's a Mount Rushmore there's a Mount Rushmore 4, and then there's a mountain that's being built, on the other side, all by its damn self. And on that note, Ty has a question for you for tomorrow.
Yeah, Roman, I would agree with Connor. I just real quick would like to acknowledge my tribal chief as well, if everyone here wants to do it.
Sir.
Thank you. I'm just curious. You said, okay, so like there is some good talent in the WWE right now, but do you kind of just notice like, hey, you know what? I think it's time. I got to come back this weekend, make everyone kiss the ring, and kind of acknowledge that, like, hey, the Vision, that's the cool new thing. Seth Rollins is on. He's doing the car wash on every single channel on TV right now. I've seen him 50,000 times over the last 3 days, but is it nice every once in a while?
Just grasping on the relevancy, right?
Well,
just please see me.
And it's the same thing, because we kind of had the same conversation when we were in Vegas last year for WrestleMania. But do you kind of just pick and choose and let people know, like, okay, hey, you guys can kind of do your thing, but when I come back, when the big dog comes back into town, like, this is my show, and it will always be my show?
I think, there's always a mindset of that, but to be completely honest and transparent here, 2 years ago, it all changed around. And what I've been doing out there hasn't exactly been the same of what I've done before. And the way I look at it is I'm a generous tribal chief. I give the people plenty of time. These young talent, they say we hog all the TV time. They'll complain about one thing, and then I leave an opening. I give them plenty of space to create, whatever type of superstardom they want. Get over, kids. Yeah. Get over. You know what I mean? And we're 2 years here now. And we haven't advanced. We haven't evolved. You know what I mean? We have great leadership. And Nick Cotton, God bless him, what a businessman. He's a genius. But we have to be able to keep up with that creatively. And that's why people like me, people who are striving to be the very best, the greatest, the GOATs, the MJs, I just can't sit around and see mediocrity. Not when I set it up for everybody to just slam it home. We're on Netflix, for crying out loud. Come on! You gotta capitalize.
All right, so I'm gonna hold it right there, and let me see. Give me a moment. This is interesting. Yeah. There. Wait. Oh no. Whoops.
Want me to do it?
Yeah, because I was gonna be like, just put it in the back. I was gonna be like, put it in the back real quick, but
I can do it. Hang on.
Oh wait, I'm tripping.
There you go. I was about to click it. You just got to it fast.
Yeah. But all right. So look, that was some interesting takes right there from Roman. But he said a mouthful. But one of the things that I want to, really pick back on is this, right? And this is the thing that is a constant image, regardless whoever it is within whatever era, the new era coming behind the old era, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same old. Correct? If you remember the good popular thing of, John Cena breaking Roman's balls back in the days about why he keeps coming back. And now it's like Roman now gets to do the same to these new guys, the new cats in the game. And they're like, oh, you busted me about me taking all the spot and everything and hogging all the TV time. No. This is not what you think it is. And, now looking at it like this right now and just looking at it from where it was before and where it looks now and even beyond, right? You have to start questioning this, right? Is this more so a factor point of, because like Roman said, hey, it's been 2 years. I haven't touched the main spot in 2 years. Anyone could have had it.
Yeah.
So when you look at right now, 2 years of Roman Reigns stepping aside, not touching no title, not being a part of any crazy overall main story with the title in any way, shape, and form. is it obvious to just sit here and say that creative is an eyeball? Because the way how he tailored it, he's saying, hey, y'all had the time. I gave it to you. Y'all had everything to do. But the thing is, the crazy part of the way how he said it is like they had the power to do what they need to do to get over. And the thing is, last time I checked, no, they don't. I mean, the way I know it, WWE doesn't give free roam for everyone to write and script out what they think is the right play and sell their own story. So understanding that storylines and how things go and how things get pivoted over, that's in WWE's hands. Of who goes up, down, and stays in the middle. So with that, I start questioning. Is the simple fact that certain wrestlers didn't get to where they got to is simply because WWE, amongst their creative team, are badly not seeing who is, like, are they very confused about who is their top star amongst the new breed?
I don't think they know, actually. You can't keep pushing Cody all the time because he's getting stellar himself. I think he needs to turn face soon.
He's already faced.
Heel, you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Randy Orton has been in and out of the scene for years, so he's whatever. You don't have too many options at this point. Like, the other ones are like mid-card guys. And I don't think they have their ability to be A players. And I know if David was on, he when we were arguing, I don't think Oba Fell, whatever his name is.
Oba Femi.
Yeah, I don't think he can he may have a good run, a small run, but I don't think he's a Roman Reigns or a Brock Lesnar character. I think he's
I would actually disagree with that a little bit.
No, that's fine. I mean, here you're disagreeing with that.
The reason why I say, well, because again, when I'm looking at what Roman has done up until leading up, and then what Obafemi has done in NXT leading up, is night and day. It's like Obafemi versus Roman Reigns in NXT moving up. I mean, honestly, the way I look at it, Oba has been way more of a caricature, way more better on the mic than Roman has ever had been when they were both in NXT. So leading up to this, he's way ahead of Roman Reigns leading up into the main roster. The only thing is, are you going to promote him to be anything more than what he is? 2, you also put him in a match with Cody Rhodes. And then you squashed it by no one winning that match, saving his credibility. You wouldn't do that if you wasn't going to eventually make him something. So that's another thing. The thing is, now, of course, like you were saying a little bit earlier, is will he have a long reign? Meaning, well, he probably will have the title, but he may not have, anything of any significance later down the road. Mm-hmm. Right there is a questionnaire tell. Because what's funny? I saw Ryback made a clip about Obafemi and his opinions on it. Yes. And he actually gave him the same good upscale. Like, he said, hey, look, Oba's going to be a star. He's definitely going to be good. He's definitely going to have a run. The biggest problem that goes down with how does he mix well with other wrestlers and their style, and 2, creative. He mainly pointed out creative. And that's going to be the thing. Do I think that Oba can definitely be a champion? Do I think he can sell? Like, granted, Oba's finisher is more likely probably more simple than anybody else. It's a power bomb. Congratulations, right? Simple as day. Nothing really spectacular about that. It's his energy, how he's moving, how he talks, how he's holding up himself, how he's standing up. That right there is a selling point about Oba. It's not somebody that needs a manager and that needs to talk for him, talk lickety split. No, he got that. He is well trained. The thing is now is, are you willing to make him look good in front of everybody and sell him like he's that guy? That's the only difference. But that's what I'm saying. Like, across the board, I look at that a lot amongst a lot of people, and I say you can do that with amongst everybody. Because again, the thing is, and this is the thing that comes along the way, right? Because as we also know in wrestling, A lot of people like to see and say, oh, there's certain people that were the Vince, there were the Vince guys, and other people were Triple H guys. But then it's like, okay, well, if there's politics about who type of guy you are, because a lot of people said Triple H was probably doing Austin Theory's dirty because he was a Vince guy, not a Triple H guy. Bron Breakker might be a Triple H guy. That's why he's getting them more prop up. However, whatever the scenario is. But either way, how you look at it right now, it's just very, like, in a very distasteful taste, because you look at all of this and you just be like, you're really just saying, a lot of these people are just holding titles just for the sake of holding titles. Like, honestly, like, most people are just holding titles just for the sake of holding titles. I think CM Punk, he's holding the title because, well, he won the title. But let's be honest, the World Heavyweight title been slinging back and forth a little bit. It hasn't been really sitting. It has been swerving for some time up until now. IC title with Becky, honestly, she could do without it. You should have just really gave it to Maxie Dupree and then let that story with Natty be a thing. Didn't do that. Honestly, I think Becky did her service with the title already. Her with Becky with freaking what's her name? I forgot her first name. Oh, I keep forgetting these wrestlers' names. God damn it. AJ Lee, Becky fighting AJ Lee for the title. Honestly, waste of time in my opinion. Waste of time. You're that right there. That's what I'm saying. That is the problem with wrestling right now, especially amongst WWE. Bringing back old people, telling the new people that you brought up to the main roster. Yeah, we're sorry, but you're not popular enough or you're not good enough. But you brought them to the main roster. You should have fucking kept them in NXT then. Or let them go. Because you ain't going to do nothing with them. It's just really sad. Because, honestly, like, hold on, let me go back. Because, like I said, Becky doesn't need the IC title, honestly. She just don't. And I don't need to see Becky and AJ Lee fight for the IC title either. That's just pointless. What else is there? Domin doesn't really need the IC title because I don't even remember the last time he even defended it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It for that long, like, no, I'm sorry, no.
And every time he gets
challenged for 84 days, and it's like you can't be serious.
Every time somebody challenges him, he kind of makes an excuse why he doesn't want to wrestle.
Well, yeah, and that's just story bit, but the story bit was just horrible. Like, that's what I'm saying, like, pointless. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, yeah, his heel will never change, but it's like, still, it's pointless. Then it's like, again, what else? Tag teams. The Usos don't even freaking need the tag team titles, especially if you're not gonna really do some high-end tag team stuff. Like, how long have we been waiting for, American Alpha to actually, well, is it American Alpha or is it something else that tag team names? Okay, I'm just gonna say the Creed brothers. Creed brothers haven't won the title. They should have. I don't know what the frick they're waiting for. They don't want to pull that trigger for whatever reasons. But again, those people, same tag teams, came up to the main roster, haven't done nothing. Team freaking, is it LAX? Yeah, I think it. No. I'm not gonna remember all these team people. Sorry. I'm not gonna remember all these team. American Made. Okay, that's one. What else is there? Oh my gosh, not Judgment Day. No. Okay, sorry. LWO. Sorry about that. But yeah, there's a lot of teams. A lot of people could definitely be in the mix or definitely be in the pictures for this, and they just giving it to other people. The women's tag team can really care less, honestly. Rusev could easily have been the IC champion at that point. Then you go into SmackDown, then you're like, okay, let's look at the SmackDown side of the roster. Granted, yeah, you got Julia as the women's champion, but you made her have that title on a mediocre note, which, again, is so sad because, again, one of these pioneer stars that you signed, run NXT, made her look good, push her to the main roster, and then got her the United States title, didn't do shit.
I remember one time, this is when Vince was in charge still. Yeah. When they called people up, they gave them a fair chance to see if they perform. It doesn't seem like they even give him a shot anymore, these guys. Or is it me?
I mean, it's a little bit of everything right now because this is my thing of like the whole transfer because that's what I'm saying. Like the idea of the chances is I could see that what you're saying because again, it's like fans been calling for hold on. Fans been calling for Montez Ford to get a single run. They're not pulling the trigger on that. At least not yet, anyways. Surprising, if not. It's a lot of things because again, it's like storytelling, this and that, switching up stuff, injuries. Everything is becoming a big fat mess. Nothing is very clean cut. And I think one of the biggest things that right now a lot of the new wrestlers are dealing with is some of y'all are getting injured at the wrong damn time, unfortunately. 2, y'all can't even win it off the people that need to be winning. Like, think about it. When they assaulted, like for instance, when Bron Breakker assaulted CM Punk, right? And that was supposed to be a thing. If he didn't get injured, that could have been CM Punk versus I'm sorry, not CM Punk, but that could have been Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker, which honestly would have been probably better than what we're about to see at WrestleMania with Bron Breakker versus CM Punk. Literally, in my opinion,
I deny that.
Would have been better. But this is the problem. It's just not. So, and that's my thing is like, again, a lot of these guys are not, it's just not living up to storytelling. It's like the storytelling is just falling off. The selling people in the right direction is just falling. Like some people, like, yeah, you're making some people take some step backs. Because again, think about it. Nia Jax on SmackDown was in the world title picture of the women's world title picture. She had to take a step back and now being in the women's tag team title picture. So, you know, just certain small things like that just to boost up other people or to get other people to go on forward. See, shoot, even some AAA. So the fact that you're now pushing other people, your other wrestlers to other corporations just to give them some airtime or even be on WWE main event is sort of selling the idea like, yeah, these guys are becoming non-factors or you just don't have nothing for them. And the sad fact is, this is where it comes down to. How you don't have nothing for certain people or at least keep them involved in some formality of the storyline where it does seem something. Because you're telling me if I see Alex Shelley and his tag team partner over at AAA, that's a problem for me.
I get what you're saying. Like, I want to use an example. Remember Adam Colin when he moved from WWE to
AEW.
Yeah, and he had a decent run back in WWE, if you remember. Not the greatest run, but a decent run.
Yeah, almost NXT. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was still in NXT when he left, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, because he was about to meet the main roster, but thanks to the whole COVID situation and everything else, yeah. No, it didn't materialize. He ended up jumping to AEW.
Yeah, so he had a decent run.
Yeah.
You can say a lot about Vince. He's a horrible person, great person, whatever. I'm not saying his later years was the greatest creative years he had. But towards his earlier years, 2000s, mid to 2010s, he did some great fucking work.
I mean, look, a lot of people expect Vince to fail and fuck up his daddy's business. Which
I know Eric's gonna start screaming at us in a minute because he disagrees, and that's fine. But
I mean, look, disagree, but right now you look at it start to start, who's doing it worse? I mean, I think what Vince did, regardless how you like it or not, he took it further than most. He did. But the one thing that allowed him to do it, even though, as far as other than scandals and everything else, it's because this is the one thing about Vince I'm hearing so far is this. He's being strict about the product. Triple H doesn't look like he's being strict about the product. And he's being so lenient to the point nothing's getting done. But
you give Vince a credit. Like, he had rules. You couldn't say certain words out there. I think like belt was one of them. I think you couldn't use.
Yeah, those are a couple of things you couldn't say.
There was stupid shit. I'm not denying that. But
well, yeah, I think he only gave like a few certain people allowed to say that because their character. But other than that, and not get bleeps on air, it is what it is. But yeah,
and Vince was the one who wanted to pitch Roman hard when he came on the scene, if you remember, because his look.
The scene he did, it just flopped at the wrong. It just flopped pretty much.
Dude,
like,
I remember when Roman actually had his promo right on his hand. If you remember that.
Wow. Okay. That's horrible if he did because I don't know.
No, he did, and I think if I'm not mistaken, John Cena called him out on it too and roasted him on live TV.
Okay, if it was that same thing, then I must have missed the part when he said that because that's bad. If you actually had it written on your hand,
and the fucked up part, it was on Rivals too, and people saw it written on his hand, the whole thing, and like the way he was talking, he didn't cover up. Like what?
See, that's the thing. It's like, but see, from that perspective, that says certain people that want to be the ones, but you ain't ready because you ain't really battle tested yet. Not from a sense you're battle tested amongst the action, but you're not battle tested amongst the mic. You're not really remembering the key lines or however it is. Or
people have said it. Even Paul Heyman said it when he hooked up with Roman years ago. He was been working with Roman for a while now before they showed each other on TV. Roman was not ready to say to do a promo. He was horrible at it. He can do the physical stuff, but the promo stuff he sucked at. When he went away because of COVID, he worked with him behind the scenes.
Right.
And that's how when he came back now as Travis Street, he's one of the best promo guys on the roster right now.
Yeah, he got better.
Yeah,
that's
the greatest, one of the best. I said, yeah.
I mean, he hasn't said nothing that's really made me lost my marbles. Ultimately,
his reactions are pretty good. Actually, you got to give him credit on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I give a good example when they were arguing. Usos were arguing with Sammy because I don't give a damn what driver see. That's
just good. That's just good in character stuff. Like, that's all good.
That's what I mean. Like, if that's the spot of it, his reaction are pretty good at it now.
Yeah. All that in stuff, that's all great. But everything else, he definitely improved. But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot. That's what I'm like. It's a lot to consider when it comes to a lot of people thinking that they're ready to go. And it's like, you may be ready to go to take the spot as far as wrestling, but being the top piece, you got to have the top piece at this point.
Back then, he was not ready to be a top piece.
Oh, yeah.
Now he is.
No, I think, like, I say it like this, right? With Roman, like I said again, Roman, it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't the fact that physically or, proactively he wasn't ready. It was just the fact that talking, he just wasn't. And that's like, granted, when you look at most wrestlers that reach to the top, talking is a part of the whole game plan. Unless you're special like Brock Lesnar that always has Paul Heyman, then, that's a different story. But, if you're lucky enough to have a manager, that's a whole different story. You're safe.
Look at his cousin, bro, The Rock. He's one of the best promo guys on the mic.
Oh yeah, there's no way around it. Even though most people say that he took it from Booker T, though.
Let me ask you a question: do you ever think Roman Reigns and The Rock thing is ever going to happen? Because people are pushing that hard.
Fuck no. To be honest with you, because I was listening. I think I told you this one when we was on the phone before. But as I'm listening to like the stories about like all the situations of plans that come and go. Mm-hmm. It's literally just WWE, and as far as the creators are saying, they're just bailing out on these stories. So if they thought about Roman and The Rock, they bailed off of it. If they thought about The Rock with the whole Cody situation, they bailed off of it. They just bailed off of it. But that's my thing. Is like, if you're going to be bailing off and never going all in, what's the point? This is what I'm saying. At this point, there has to be some formality of strictness when it comes to looking at who you got. Who is your top guy? Who is your top new guy? Who can we promote as the new face of WWE? Is it anybody? If it ain't, then you're fucked.
A new subscriber.
Hey, Shout out to those that are subscribing.
Yeah, thank you guys. But here's my issue with this right now. The whole Rock versus Roman. Every so often, it comes back in the air. Oh, this is going to happen. The last match Rock had, if you remember, I think it was, not mistaken, it was with Cena. Do you remember what happened then? Any chance?
I remember a few pieces in mind, but overall, yeah.
The Rock got hurt, actually.
Yeah, he did got hurt, but I wasn't worried about. I mean, that's a match. It is what it is. But
yeah. So even with Paul, we had this discussion on the Hangout. He's saying he thought, and he thinks to this day, The Rock's in-real career has ended. He's more an office person now. I don't want to disagree and all agree. The Rock is in pretty good shape. I think he really wants to get back in the ring. He's one of the few people who can do it, I think.
I mean, honestly, well, conditioning, muscular look, everything, The Rock can definitely get back in there, especially since he had to drain all that muscle for that movie review and then look at a different body right now and a different muscular frame. I mean, definitely with that muscular frame, if he's still agile, if he can still hit all the notes and everything, he can definitely get back in there.
With losing all that muscle, or the extra muscle, because come on, let's call it ace and ace, bro. He was not natty at all. He was on the juice. Let's be honest. And now he's off the juice. He's all natural. Finally, I think he's gonna be able to perform better. I mean, don't forget.
He was definitely tight. I mean, the thing is, he was definitely tight in the upper body, which is sort of mobility, his skill set a little bit, but he can still show that the skill set's still there at his age. But I think, yeah, definitely with dropping his body, dropping the whole muscular frame and keeping that incline right there and everything else and keeping it as base or like that slight new modified body of his. He definitely, you would think he should be able to. Now, again, physicality wise, I don't know for sure, but it's going to be a pick and choose. But right now, for me, I don't really go back on the whole Roman and then The Rock thing. Like that ship has sailed. I'm not really looking to that. I just couldn't care. That ship has sailed for me, honestly. It's like done deal, under the water. Like, don't bring it up again, please. Just don't. Just don't bring it up again. Just throw it in the can. Just throw it in the can, please. Because no one cares about that right now. And no one should.
A lot of people want to see that still, bro. I'll be honest with you. And a lot of people I have conversations with about wrestling, co-workers, customers, friends. That conversation comes up pretty often. A lot of people will say to me, I would love to see Roman and The Rock. The Rock pass the torch to Roman.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, people.
Is that going to actually happen? We don't know. Look what happened with Hogan and Rock. They thought, they had to change the ending in the middle of the match, if you remember.
No, yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean that whole situation, that's a whole different factor. But
of course, I'm not denying that one. But things happen, situation changes. You never know. Somebody might get hurt, or
I mean, I think they're more. I mean, when people make decisions like that, I mean, that could be because someone's hurt. That wrestlers are talking in signals, in certain moments of the match if people don't recognize it, or people are just saying like, hey, this or that, and probably the referee is probably getting an incline message from the higher up saying, hey, we're gonna change it, we're gonna do something different, and I'm like, all right, cool, yada yada, whatever, how this goes. And that's just fine. It's like, that's nothing. I mean, I think in more cases than not, when most situations get changed and you look back at that moment, they probably made the right decision of why they changed it. Because, it might be they're going to choose to change it because of how the crowd's reacting. And it's like, you know what? The crowd's reacting like this. They're going to change the decision. So just to keep the momentum up and keep the nostalgia up for that point. And that's fine. But, pick how you swerve it. But that's my thing. Like, that's my thing. So that's what I'm saying. Like, looking at this right now, and as far as like what Roman's saying and everything else, is like, again, I can't see a bunch of the new talent step up. Like, granted, okay, let me rephrase this how I was about to say it. in the fact that Roman's saying, I gave you guys 2 years to do whatever y'all need to do to take over the crowd, get the crowd by your side, and get WWE to know who is the new face or the new upcoming that's going to take WWE by storm. But this is why I say I go back to WWE on this, because like, do you guys even know who your top new stars are? Like, when it comes to your male, do you know who your top new star is? When it comes to your females, do you know who your top new star is? Sure, they may have the title. Doesn't mean nothing, because let's be honest, what they did with it. Like, let's just be honest. So for me, that's what I'm saying. Like, you garnish all these big stars, you garnish all these big names, but now when you put them in the forefront, it ain't clicking. It's like even in the worst, like, okay, again, Stephanie Valkyria, perfect example. Love her, think she deserves to be a world champion. Did she deserved it at this point? Sadly, no, only because of the whole Naomi situation. But hey, it is what it is. The problem is you're not able to pivot enough to give her a good look, and now that good look and talent is just looking like a bad look, because like, well, you gave her the title, she has it. What has she done with it since? Not a damn lick of nothing. It's like, what are we doing here? But hey, I just find it very interesting. I just find it very interesting right now with the whole look of where WWE's at right now. But
oh yeah, they're in a weird place right now because they could do so much and they're not doing enough, I think. And they're playing safe, and safe is not. That's one. I can correct one thing. Vince took risks. Sometimes they bit him in the ass, but sometimes it paid off.
No, yeah. But let me go back. Let's go back to the clip real quick, because I want to keep this going.
We got people over here playing around trying to figure it out, and I got the formula. I know how to cook it up. You know what I mean? So it's been a tough couple of years for me, but at the same time, when you come off such a hell of a run, you got to kind of just pump the brakes for a second. I got 5 children at home. I wear, we all wear those 2 important hats, being a husband and a father. You got to be able to, click. And I've been on the road for a long time, so I needed to be able to pull back a little bit. But I'm fully capable. I'm only 40 years old. With all the tech and all the information we have now, I feel like I'm 25 years old. So I'm still good to go. You know what I mean?
Well, I appreciate you doing your schedule to help the other talent, not yourself. Because obviously, if you wanted to help yourself,
it's a help them help me. We're all helping each other. You know what I mean?
Of course, it's good for all parties.
But like I said, you gotta get the reps. Got to get the reps.
And also, go ahead, come on.
Yeah,
that's the business. That's been the business.
Yeah. It's anytime now. You know what I mean? Like
that's been the business. That has been the business. People said it before you hit your entire thing. Cena. Hey, who? And then before that, it was obviously Rock or Austin.
Yeah,
one of them. Before that, it was Hall and that, whatever. And then before that, it was So it feels like that has always been this business, And I want to let you know the fact that you just dropped the whole I'm 40 and I still got a lot of time left. That's good news for the business.
But see that's an interesting thing right there, right? As
it is.
As Matt McAfee is over here breaking that down. Like before Roman, it was Cena. Then before Cena, it was who? It was like, was it The Rock? But that's the thing, right? It was a lot of people back then. So the question now, just by Matt McAfee saying it, is it to a point that we're less on wrestling leadership at this point? Because now, back then, right, before the John Cenas were ever even named, the Randy Ortons and everything else, we had The Rock, we had Stone Cold, we had Triple H. We pretty much had a bunch of faces like in the top lead markets. Now it's like, well, we had a couple of bodies, and then now it's like, well, we just got one to two mofos at best. I'm like, okay,
lucky. And that he's hitting a lot of good points. He's 40 years old and he still has a lot of time in the tank.
While being on his disease, I forgot his disease that he's dealing with right now.
He has cancer. Lymphomia.
I think it's
Lymphomia, something like that.
Yeah. It's close to what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's it is a cancer, but he got lucky because his cancer's under control. He's going to be on medication the rest of his life. Even under the medication he's on an oral medication. He still can perform on a very high level.
Right.
Not a lot of people
Even
are that
though it
lucky.
sort of look like he's drained sometimes.
The cancer can kick your ass, bro. I see it with my mom all the time. She's
Well, yeah, for sure. But and that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I know Roman's just only mentioning the fact that his kids being a father, and then all this. You gotta take some time. I mean, not only do that, it's the health too. I mean, granted, the health is being monitored and everything, but that for a good minute while you was wrestling was kicking your ass because it looked like again there was moments it looked like you was draining. You should have lost the title.
Are you talking about when he had his long reign, right?
Yes. Like there was moments where he looked drained and he looked like he should have honestly lost the title and just handed it over. But
Yeah, he also gave him something credit, like not to Roman, to any wrestler. They're traveling all the time. Their diet is horrible at the moment, and on top of that, is they're not going to be hitting the gym correctly. Seriously, Eric, Cena wasn't.
Eric, you can say what you want, but guess what? You're glad he finally gone. I want to find me someone that can deliver exactly or even above what Cena's done in this business. Call him stuff if you want to.
He's a GOAT for a reason. He said it right one time, and I know he was being a little ignorant and saying, everybody says, "See ya, Vince." Everybody jumped ship on him, but he's one of the few people like The Undertaker who stayed with him to the end.
Oh no, yeah, that's fine. I mean, my thing is one thing about Cena, and this one thing I give him as a wrestler, just coming into the business, is he was willing to do anything and everything to make himself sellable and marketable to be the guy, to be the front runner. That what made him the top guy that he is right now, because that would allow him to be prolonged in such a long venue the way he was. But like unlike other people, give or take, not the same case. Oh, Eric, what you say now? There is not enough time left on your show to list better choices. Eric, hey, look, if you're going to list better choices, list them out, damn it. List them out. I'm waiting for this list. List them out. Because I guarantee you, anybody within the time that Cena was in here, I guarantee you one way or another, not even close. And again, you got to think about it. A lot of people would not have done as much as the dedication John Cena even put in this business the way they would. Especially when most of them had kids. And he's the only one like, yeah, I'm not having that.
And if you said one thing too about Cena almost got canned, if you remember.
Yeah, no, I definitely remember.
Yeah. So if it wasn't for Stephanie Manning saying, listen, do what you're doing in the bus. You're rapping, you're doing your thing. Just be you out there. And he took her advice and he ran with it.
No, yeah, and that's my thing, because it was because that's the story, right? The one story was he was rapping on the bus. He was literally about to get the boot, like you said, right? And then Stephanie saw him started becoming the rapper. And it's like he heard him rap, and then it was like different name, different angle. The Thugonomics was born. Boom! It was like ready to go.
He finally put he finally put all the what I'm looking for. He put all the puzzle together finally for himself.
Yeah.
Joe who? Like what Eric? Joe.
Yeah, I know. Joe, who are you saying? Are you saying Samoa Joe?
Samoa? Yeah, no way, no way. Samoa is good, but not Cena's level.
Well, I didn't know for sure because I didn't know exactly what he was going at.
Me neither, but if he's talking about Samoa Joe, yeah, he's good, but not like Cena level. Not like people trying to push him. He's like this big shot guy. He's not. He's just popular.
Well, no, that's why I need to make sure, because I need to have the context before saying anything. So Eric, I do need to know. You're saying Samoa Joe, or what Joe exactly are you pointing out here? I need to know.
There are a lot of Joes there.
I didn't know the Joe. I didn't know the Joe.
Eric hates everything with modern wrestling. He likes that the territory area better. It was a pretty good era back then. I'm not denying that, but unfortunately, Vince killed it. For good or bad, that's a whole different story. But in a way, we're kind of back into that if you think about it, Wally. With this different, promotions will kind of have a small version of the territory. Yeah, he means
okay, we're talking about Samoa Joe. All right, so look, I like Samoa Joe. I think Samoa Joe is very great. It's funny enough, Samoa Joe actually did start it in WWE way back the same way as AJ Styles and many others before he got pivoted and was thrown to TNA and became a massive star in TNA. Do I think Samoa Joe will be on the same tier as a Cena as far as just in everything as a star, though? No. No. There's only one thing that John has over everybody that sadly no one can ever take from John. And that was he was too dang marketable to the damn kids.
Absolutely.
And that is literally was the game changer. But to be fair though, let's take away the kids out of the notion, right? Would Samoa Joe then be able to have way more better than John? Yeah, definitely on mic. Samoa Joe is a little bit more better on mic skills than Cena. I'll give it to him. Wrestler wise, you can pick and choose on that because again, weight, especially in his later years, was a questionary part for his wrestling career, which is why he was in and out of WWE, which pick and choose on that notion, right? That's how I look at it. I mean, it's a take them how you want to take them notion. Take them as is. I think you can really go either way, depending on how you're looking at it. But in all totality, you're trying to sit here and say, as a replacement of world title contention, everything else just bigger all around, not even close. Not even close. Just not even close. If you told me AJ, then I would agree with you. AJ is one person I would definitely take over John Cena any day.
Oh, AJ had a great chance against him if they were in the same company at the time when Cena and AJ are on their peak. Yes, I'll give him that. Or even a good example, Randy Orton was is competitor to Cena all the time. He was one person like nobody could take him down. Brock Lesnar hit him up again, another one.
And he says Joe filled the void that Benoit left behind. Honestly, I would naturally actually agree with that. He sort of did. Well, yeah. He did fill the void of that rough, agile, very stronghold person. Yeah, he did actually fill that void. Yeah, no, definitely. That smash mouth, I'm going to get in your face, I'm going to break you down. Technical, aggressive wrestler. Yeah, no, he definitely filled that void. I ain't going to lie. Yeah. He was one of my favorite guys. So, yeah. But let's be honest. Yeah. Each mouth as he was, they didn't make Benoit the top guy either.
Yeah,
I mean, they made him like not like that.
No. Cena was the face of the company for years, and he carried it on his back.
Because when you talk about like super high grade, there was just other people, in my opinion, that you could have did that with, honestly. Like definitely, I'm talking about like I'll even go further. I could even believe that Eddie, if freaking Vince get out of his freaking way with the whole muscular guy shit, Eddie could have been just as much higher than anybody. Literally. I remember someone sent me a video the other day about Jeff. Like they had it was a conspiracy video. They're saying conspiracy. Jeff Hardy would have been a bigger star if Vince didn't block his stardom. And I was like, the way I was hearing the video, I'm like, I can understand that. Now, granted, we all know Jeff had a lot of problems back in the days and everything else, and going through all the waves and stuff, which actually kept them away from being the top star, give it one way or another. We all know that if you've seen TNA. But if everything was cool and clear, not too much crazy injuries and all the backstories and everything else, Jeff was easily popular back in the days. So easily popular. Way easily popular than a lot of people. But we all know if it was all about popularity, well, let's be real here. A lot of people wouldn't be.
I got to credit. Jeff. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Like HBK was very.
I think Wally froze.
Very popular. Look at the world title.
Oh, okay. We're both froze. Go ahead.
No, I think you weren't even that high up the grade. Like, again, Eddie to me was a very popular star, but he wasn't high up there in the higher echelons. Jeff, another one. HBK, another one. Like, a lot of these guys that are high grade that were popular, they don't reach that high. They don't reach that high. A lot of your top popular
Look at
guys
Hardcore Holly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think so Hardcore was that popular back in the days, though. To a lot of people. I liked him, but I don't think so he was that popular.
I think he was a pretty decent wrestler. I'm not denying that. Listen, towards the end of his life,
I liked it. I liked him. I think he was one of those many Chris Benoit's that were literally the real brunt guys that really came in with the smash mouth type attitude. I like this character. The problem is they don't sell that character as being a very efficient champion, which they should, because look at what they're doing with Gunther right now. It's like high brash, Brock is another one, high brash, but it's like, okay, high brash, but you couldn't do that with Holly. I'm like, the reason why they don't do that with Holly, because let's be honest, look at Holly, look at Brock, like, again, Holly wasn't that much of a high-end physique type of guy anyways. So it's like, again, that I sort of look at that as sort of like, he was a professional jackass, but that goes with the character. Like, I'm good with that.
But he was a jackass behind the scenes too.
No, yeah, he definitely was. No, he definitely was.
There were stories coming out
for most people
years later when he was helping train people. He was a complete douchebag.
No, yeah, he definitely was. He definitely was a complete jerk. But you know what? I rather if he was literally being him versus faking it, and then it's like it's all for scene. Because at least with him, at least he could stand on character. Like, oh no, this is business. I'm standing on this. Like he's standing on that.
What I was gonna say earlier, Eddie Guerrero's towards his end of the years before he passed, they were trying to push him hard.
No, they weren't trying to push him hard. They definitely were. It's just sad because of the simple fact of the steroids and everything else. It all went crashing down. But that's why I sort of put it on Vince, because it's like, again, you idolize someone being world champion as this big muscular guy, but again, wrestling is not just the big muscular guys. Some of your greatest moments have been through your high flyers. But again, WWE have abandoned the high flyer scene for nothing.
If you remember the first TLC match, you had the Dudley Boys, Hardys, who the fuck else was
Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian, thank you. That was one of the best matches, hands down, for a tag team.
A tag team tornado 6-way match for TLC. Bro,
that shit,
that shit was so wild. To see that spear of Jeff and then go in
if you hear the crowd, the sound when they were going through the tables, it was like they're gassing out of air pretty much on an arena. And that's how they knew. And they said it in multiple interviews. That's how they knew they were doing something different, something unique, and something people will remember
forever. But nowadays, there's nothing to remember. It's like, bitch, I want to forget this. I want to forget everything. Just whitewash everything. Like, let's reset the storyboard.
When I met Matt Hardy, he was a very sweet and gentle guy. I met him a few years back at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Very sweet guy. I haven't had a chance to meet his brother yet, but I think they're both probably similar. I'm always been a bigger fan of Jeff versus Matt, personally.
A lot of people have.
Yeah, I think his style is unique. But tell me any other person who is high flyer just like Jeff right now.
I mean, there's definitely some few. I mean, not as far as exactly like Jeff. There's no one I have seen as far as males that can really do what Jeff does. Now, as females wise, Sol Ruka is actually one female that I say if she were to learn from Jeff, can literally do some Jeff Hardy stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the males, of course.
Well, yeah, males. I don't think so. There's anyone in proximity that I would say that's similar to males as far as their style wise that is close to Jeff Hardy.
Mm-hmm. Again, like no, I think. Okay, Jeff Hardy was a little. Listen, I'll be honest. Doing all those stuff, you probably have something wrong with you personally. Jumping through all those tables and chairs. Like, I know you want to, perform, but goddamn. Like,
hey, that's the risk of being a high fly. You got to take the extra hurdles.
Again, I'll give you another example. When they threw freaking Mankind off the cage.
That was just
stupid.
That was stupid, but ultimately I looked at that as that was a high risk reward, and thank goodness he didn't die at that moment of heart attack. Like, Lord have mercy, because that was just too much. That was so too much.
Man, Eric's on the road tonight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, RVD was good. Not denying that. But again, he was nowhere near Jeff Hardy's stand. Sabu too. He was good. Again, who was better?
I think with RVD though, RVD definitely had his own sentiment of style, because I don't think so. There's a lot of people that can do what RVD did, because RVD had his own sense. Like, think about it. When you think about when you use the chair in the game, to toss the chair and then turn around. So, just innovative styles. Yeah, of course, Sabu. I mean, there's definitely a lot of people, give or take. But let me get back to the video real quick and let's finish this out.
All right, go ahead.
Yes, it is.
Hey, that's good news for the business, Roman, and I like what I'm hearing out of you. It sounds like we're about to maybe go on one of these types of runs again that are going to be talked about in documentaries 20 years from now. Is that what we're feeling? Is that how the body feels? Is that how the mental kind of aligns right now?
Always capable. Always capable. You know what I mean? Like, that's just built in. Just staying ready. What else am I gonna do? This is what I do. This is my livelihood. This is how I feed my children. This is how I create the abundance. So why not stay in shape? Why not stay mentally sharp and in tune with the game? This is my family's art form. That's why it's so important to me. That's why I'm not BSing when I'm talking about representing my legacy, furthering our story, taking our book to different levels and be able to create different chapters. And if I'm able to do it at the highest level, inspire my family members to follow my lead, can't nobody stop us, man. You know what I mean? To me, we're the first family of wrestling. Nobody else can't touch us.
Okay, so Young Rock, I think, exposed that even more so. When I watch Young Rock, which obviously they hinted out with you and Dwayne potentially in future WrestleMania, you guys are wrestling in a living room and about to get after it, and they pause, and The Rock's character looks and goes, "That's for WrestleMania, kid." Basically said that. It was like a tease, we're going to get it, we're going to go get it. But what I learned through that, and then obviously every other documentary, and then when you guys were doing the Bloodline angle and they put that tree up there, why do you think the Usos have been such a great professional wrestling kind of group of people? Like, why do you think it is kind of in your guys' blood, like, actually? Because if you look at the history of the entire industry, Usos throughout all of it, it feels like that is kind of why is that? Do we know the exact, like, beginnings of it all or how we got there?
I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah, I'm going to learn you right now. we're just great athletes, first of all. I mean, that just, there's got to be, you guys might know, there's got to be some kind of Polynesian percentage for the NFL and even other sports, but especially the NFL. I think there's got to be some crazy percentage of men that make it to the NFL that are Polynesian. So the athletic size and we're big, so you have to, that all works. But within our culture, it's surrounded around storytelling. When you grow up on an island, you know what I mean? There's not that much to do. So you have to be able to entertain each other. You have to be able to tell stories. And that's how all indigenous cultures, people, ancient people, that's how you keep the information, is these stories and these myths. And you can't be up there in front of the fire, blowing it with a boring story. You got to be able to, you got to be able to spin it. You got to be able to tell that story and be an orator. And we actually have them. You have high chiefs, you have matais and speaking chiefs within our culture. So it's built.
Let me stop right here. And this is very interesting, honestly. I love hearing what Roman is saying right now, honestly, because look what he said in the midst of it, right? In the culture, we're telling stories that live on, that can be passed around, everything, because this is how entertainment was. And literally stories are, because when you look at any culture, there's always a story in a culture, always a folklore, a folktale, anything. There is a story being told. Bible is one of them as a proponent. Anything you could sell. The Greek gods, any god of any country. There's always a folklore story. So this is why storytelling is so freaking impactful. But it seems like, why is storytelling just, again, it's sort of just being the tail off that is just riding out of WWE's wheelhouse. And that's the thing. It's like, if storytelling, regardless of anybody, any race, anything, is the biggest proponent in life as the main origins of entertainment, then why is that in the wheelhouse of a giant that literally built off of storytelling for most of it in good wrestling is falling off?
That's the question of the night.
Because it's really hitting a big point. And that right there, it should be a big intel. See, that him breaking that down, it really hits that nail in the coffin to really look at, WWE, let alone of anybody else that listens to that video and be like, storytelling in wrestling is a big thing for a reason. Or storytelling in everything is a big reason. Like, look at storytelling in any place whatsoever. Comics. The owner of DC come out and said, I always find it hard. Comic books can never be as interesting as mangas. I'm sorry. There's a perfect reason why. Y'all have too much different writers and no one don't know where to fucking start from. So, when you blur the lines of storytelling, it becomes an issue. In this case, I'm looking at WWE and I'm like, y'all blurring the storyline so bad to the point no one don't know what to really look forward to. It's like I'm just walking in just because I know who you guys are, and it's like whatever. And I'm just hoping to see something decent. When in reality, I'm just getting like, eh.
Oh man, where to start with this? He hits a lot of things. First of all, this is his livelihood. This is what his family's been doing for years and everything. I gotta give him credit on that. Also, not everybody's meant for this business. Let's be honest here. And as much as I like Triple H as a performer, and I was hoping he can do better as creative because he was a performer, he's dropping the ball, dude. Big time.
I mean, for me right now, this is my only thing I'm going to really hit at. I'm hitting at whoever's the writer is. That's who I'm hitting at. Because whoever he has on his creative team, they got to go. but like someone amongst that team gotta go, because that's what I'm hitting at right now. I'm not gonna really throw Triple H ultimately under the bus. Like now, if you tell me you switch writers and it still looks horrible, then yeah, I'm throwing you under the bus. But yeah, so someone got to go. Someone seriously got to go, because it's just not. It's really not appealing right now. It is really on hurt legs, as a company that stood for something, stood on a whole lot of memories. It's like every single day. I mean, honestly, every single day. Like I'm in a group chat with some fellas of mine, some pals of mine that I know throughout YouTube and stuff like that, through other people. Every single day, it's like every other day, they're sending a message of, oh, throwback days of Jeff or throwback days of Kurt Angle when they're at peak. I'm like, sad to say that this is how it goes. It's like if someone had told you favorite memory of a wrestler or just moments, someone's gonna honestly brung up a pic of something throwbacks. They ain't gonna give you nothing current. Cause what current right now is living up to anything?
Like the head of creator right now, it says, I looked it up, is, head creator is Paul, Triple H, like that, and we know that.
Mm-hmm.
Raw lead writer is Ryan Was and Joe Backstone. The lead writer for SmackDown is Joe Swack, and key executive producer is Bruce Pitchman, and we all know that already about that. So. And there are other writers underneath them. I think there are too many writers. Some people didn't like it. These two writers I'm going to mention on top. I'm like Vince Russo. I actually liked his work, to be honest with you. I think he did some great work. And Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't think his work was too bad, to be honest with you.
I forgot what time zone that he was in. If he was like in like the more early 2010s, then yeah, his writing wasn't that bad.
Freddie Prinze Jr.'s?
Yeah.
Find out now. Let's go again.
Who's the goddamn writers? All you need is a good booker.
08 to 2010.
08 to 2010. Oh wow, so 2 years. Oh yeah, so definitely it was more like a good writing for him. Definitely good writing from him then, because those were actually the more upscale peak years, right there, give or take.
And it says he left WWE because of comments from Stone Cold Steve Austin. They don't get into specifics why.
Oh,
again, I disagree with Eric's last comment. Like, who's the writers? Go book it. Without the writers, you don't have bookers, and without the bookers, you don't have writers. They kind of work together hand in hand. If they don't have a good story, what's the point of having a booker? You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah. No, they do go hand in hand. I mean, you can do the booking part, but the booking part does need, like, once you book it, it's like they do still need a story to be written. But yeah, but that's my thing. It's like I mean, they could ditch the writers, right? They could ditch the writers and just have bookers. The only thing is now the wrestlers will have to be the ones to write the material. That's not gonna happen.
And we know what happened with that last time. That crashed and burned a couple of times. I think
who that crashed and burned for?
Remember when, for example, when Hogan had a creative ability, that crashed and burned.
Yeah, that's Hogan though.
Yeah, good point. But here's what my thing is. The way the business is now, bookers are kind of like not needed. The bookers were before because they were different territories. Now, why do you need a booker for one company? They're kind of like dying out in a way.
I wouldn't see that. But I mean, you have to. I have to literally draw a line of saying like, what is a booker really doing in the wrestling business, and then what's their importance, and then what are somewhat not their importance. I have to draw the line, because for just to say like bookers are not important. I wouldn't say that because again, it's like the booker has to see. I mean, look, before the writing's on the wall, the booker has to be able to see the writing on the wall before the writing is done. Right. So it's like if the booker says, "Hey, you know what? This is the matches that we should set up for the future of the long of the story, just depending on how you write it. This is how it should be lined up." They can already see the future. The problem is the writing that you put in between that, leading up to that stuff, is the key component that you put together that makes that nice, loving sandwich, that makes it all wholesome. But that's all pick and choose. So, yeah, that's my thing. Look, I'm not gonna go too much into it. I think we can cut it off right here, honestly, with this show. But one thing I do want to leave on because I didn't add this part because I did ask AI what they thought could have been the 3 top people that could have won the Rumble. And funny enough, this is who they picked. They picked Obafemi, Sami Zayn, and Gunther.
Gunther, I wouldn't want to see win again because I'm tired of seeing him win.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want to either because that would make no sense. Like, I mean, granted, it does and it doesn't. It's like if he did win, it's like, okay, great. Not only did you retire AJ, but then you win the Royal Rumble while entering at number 30.
We don't know for sure AJ's actually retired.
Well, no, well, you know, that just based upon how they sold it, that is just what it is. But Oba was, again, that's why I said it was a wild card for him just coming in and just starting out. Zami is another one I wouldn't vote for because that same night you also had your world title match and you lost. So it's like, okay, now you come in the Rumble and get another shot to the Rumble, like, nah. Well, Eric, what you saying? Ricky Steam didn't need a writer at WrestleMania 3, and that match is mandatory viewing. Guess what? That's good old days. Good old days didn't need writing back in the day.
And I'm not mistaken, wasn't WrestleMania 3 one of the worst WrestleManias at the time?
I don't even know if that was. I don't even know if they call it that. Honestly.
Yeah.
All I know is
one of the. I can't remember which WrestleMania it was. 1, 2, or 3. It was such a failure of how they produced the show. That was one of the worst ones at the time. But I'm thinking this one coming up might be the worst one ever we had.
Well, excuse me. If WrestleMania 23 was mandatory viewing based upon Eric, I don't think so. WrestleMania 3 was the worst one. But yeah, like I said,
everybody has their own opinions.
Well, yeah, everyone has their own opinions, regardless. But all I'm saying is, as far as based upon Eric's comment, like, yeah, back then you didn't really need writers like that because writing, as far as that back then, wasn't really that much important. Towards like the latter, I would say, 80s to 90s, and then the early 2000s. That's when, and beyond, that's what writing really took over wrestling, which spinned it out to being more of a quote unquote wrestling entertainment standpoint. But that was really needed to really, again, sell memories, which is why everyone's now grasping on it to sell memories. The problem is everyone is looking for that in every which way. But it is what it is. But that's one thing. Let's see here. Yeah, we're gonna definitely leave it off right here, though. We're gonna definitely.
All right, let's go for tonight, man.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we will be back next week for another Wrestle Talk with the Spartan. As always, I'm gonna be here. The Spartan, my boy Wally's gonna be here. Tomorrow, we will be talking. Actually, I'm going to get scheduled really fast. Tomorrow night, we are talking about Zorro. Zorro, hero, legend, or just a mask. And on Wednesday, Saturday on the Gray Arrow, we're going to talk about rings. Are they a thing? Do you need to wear a ring? Do you not? Let's find out. Monday, we're off. We'll be back on Tuesday. This is a call out to Paul, because he likes running his mouth about this. Karate versus boxing. I have a call out for him. I'm going to call him out once again. You're going down, my man. This debate me and you are having this argument is going to end eventually.
Who chose what?
I'm a martial artist. I'm going with martial arts. He's picking boxing. He's saying to me, martial artists cannot fight. And boxers are the only good fighters out there.
I mean, okay, now when we say martial artists, are we talking about within martial artists as far as the arts, or martial arts as far as someone that's using discipline of the arts?
No, I actually in the arts, like myself. Like I done, side jiu and net jiu, for example. I studied a little bit karate. I studied a little kung fu and VR and jiu-jitsu. I studied multiple styles over the years. He doesn't think any martial arts can beat a boxer because they practice the katas and stuff like that mostly. But katas are not.
Okay, so within the art, okay,
yeah,
not within the fighting discipline. All right,
correct. In the art, because in the art there also is fighting discipline in there too. That's
but that's what I'm saying. Like, are we talking about in a sense of the fighting discipline, or just mainly the art? Because I'm trying to make the distinction here, because I don't want to pigeonhole like one or the other. I'm trying about like, are we talking about the art as the art form, or the actual fighting form? Like, if I'm talking about, I'm someone that has karate and I'm in MMA. Like, what are we talking about here?
That's hard. How can I break that? I'm still trying to put this together. I haven't put the whole show down together yet on paper.
Well, yeah, because think about it. If I'm a boxer and I'm coming in here as I would think and believe I'm coming in here as a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay, because there is no art with boxing, other than the simple fact of just the training and the movements and all that, if you want to call that the art of it. But if you're talking about fighting, like literally fighting, because again, this is about beating someone up, right? It's not about one discipline versus the other. Then of course, that's what I'm saying. So okay, so we're taking karate as a true martial arts in the sense of fighting versus a boxing in the sense of fight. Yeah, Paul. Look, if we're talking about actual fighting, true fighting, how are you gonna get close when someone's gonna kick you every single time? That's gonna be my main point. Especially someone that's
this is my points. Like he goes, he doesn't understand one major thing too, and I have called him out on it. Most fights on the ground. Yes, you might have grappling and wrestling, but judo is a martial art. Again, me and him are going back. This is a call. This is going to be, me and him arguing most of the show, and that's fine. He's going to lose the argument because he's talking to a martial artist. I have practiced in the arts, I have trained in the arts, and I have fought in the arts. And he can say all he wants. Boxing only has several moves. Martial arts has 100 moves. You come out with a roundhouse punch, I will throw your ass on the ground. Very simple. So anyway, we're going to finish that conversation on Tuesday. And Wednesday, Sean's show will be posted on a pre-recording. Then on Thursday, I'm still waiting for the guys to get back to me on that one. And then we're back on Wrestling Talk on the 27th. Except that, Paul, Wally, anything else on your side? I'm gonna call you Paul by accident. Wally, anything on your end really fast?
Everything's going there.
All right, guys. As always, this was Spartan Talking About Wrestling. This is Spartan. It's you know. I am the Spartan. He is Wally. Stay fresh, stay safe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.